One is a grown man with an encyclopedic knowledge of cinema. The other, a man-child raised by the more questionable corners of the internet. What happens when they each dive into something the other one loves? Find out on
The Man with No Brain.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, I've got that Halloween Festivus spirit in me.
Ryan, it's all yours.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Man with No Brain, episode number 19, a special episode. It's a Halloween episode. And as always, I am joined by the man of my nightmares, whether it's Halloween or middle of June, Mr. Joseph Robert Buckley. How you doing, Joe?
Hello, boils and ghouls, and welcome to another episode of The Man with No Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we...
So we're...
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Oh, well, I was going to say we're going to do a special Halloween episode now. We're going to talk about some Halloween traits and goodies.
And that's interesting because until like 2 days ago, I hadn't really thought about it, but I don't know how you feel about the holiday that is Halloween. I know your traditions when it comes to like Christmas with you and your cousin, because we've covered that multiple times. But honestly, yeah, I don't know how you feel about Halloween. Is it something you like? Is it something you look forward to?
Yeah, no.
So I'm interested to finding out more about your love of or lack of love of Halloween and your history of Halloween. And
I got some stories here.
all right.
Yeah.
So in general, do you like Halloween?
Definitely. Yeah, no, I enjoy a good Halloween.
Do you have any traditions?
No, I mean, I used to go trick-or-treating religiously. Like, that was the only religion I believed
Up
in.
until a year ago?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I trick-or-treated as a teenager, and then I trick-or-treated as an old teenager. And
What the fuck is an old teenager?
Well, like 16, 17, that's an old teenager.
19, 20, 21.
And the last year I trick-or-treated was like 18, and I think I went out in just like a hoodie and a mask, and that was all my costume.
What was the mask?
And Scream, I
His
believe.
own face.
No. Yeah.
His mom made it out of plaster.
He just takes some lubrication and just makes his face look kind of sweaty. It does kind of look like an old wax mask. It's very smooth. It's kind of misshapen. It's certainly not symmetrical. It looks like an old mask.
You're saying I look like Leatherface in my day-to-day life?
I think more of like a wax figure that's come to life a little bit. It's kind of lifeless. There's not a lot behind the eyes, and it's always kind of wet.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
shiny.
So I understand what you're saying. So you're saying I'm like that Paris Hilton movie.
I've never seen the remake. I've
House
not
of
seen that
Wax?
one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either.
Wasn't there... what? That's a remake.
Yeah, it's
isn't
a
it?
remake of a remake of a remake.
Yeah, it's a remake. There's the House of Wax with Vincent Price, and
Yeah,
then
like
that which was a
1930 or
remake
so.
of Mystery of the Wax Museum with Lionel Atwill.
And that was like a 3D Technicolor film.
It was in 32, maybe
30s,
33.
30s.
Yeah. Side note, if you ever want to look up, if you like Hollywood scandals, Lionel Atwill was an actor in those movies. He shows up in tons of the Universal movies, Son of Frankenstein. Look up his history. He ended up having some sort of orgy. It might have been on Halloween or it might have been on Christmas. It was on a holiday.
Yeah.
I don't have all the
Satanic
details,
orgy.
but he was known for having big orgies and stuff in Hollywood, and there was scandal. I can't remember all the details, but
I think Abbott Costello got taken down just because he was too big. That was a big scandal back then.
what?
There was just an obese man on camera. It was scandalous. It was horrible.
No. It's a woman
Well, that was
accused him of
Fatty
rape.
Arbuckle.
Or no, yeah, you're thinking of
Oh.
Fatty
I was talking
Arbuckle.
about Costello. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, Abbott Costello.
Wait, so you were talking about Fatty Arbuckle?
No, I was talking about Abbott Costello.
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
Joe was getting.
This is a little joke.
Were you getting Fatty Arbuckle confused with Abbott and Costello, Joe?
No. I was specifically talking about Costello.
Oh,
I was
okay.
saying that I was making a joke that they kicked him out of film just because he was obese.
And he wasn't. And he's really not that obese. Like
True.
Like
But
honestly,
back in the day, he was horrifying.
no, I would say not even for back in the day.
Okay.
Like Laurel and Hardy's
Basically
not even.
dad bod today.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I watch it multiple times a year, but of course around Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Ryan. I'm suddenly realizing that Joe is immense. We cannot put him on camera ever again.
Joe, you're bigger.
No!
You're bigger.
You're bigger than Costello.
You're
No,
bigger
I'm only
than Lou
mildly
Costello.
obese for the times, for the days.
No, not even for the times and the days. Do you?
Oh, absolutely.
You
No,
don't
there's
watch a lot of
500
films
pound
from that
people.
era. There are plenty of portly people in those movies of the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Look at Hitchcock. He was in every single film he made.
anyway, so
Yeah.
you went trick or treating at God, at
At
18
18.
years old was the last time you went trick or treating.
Yeah, and then my parents felt that I was a little bit too old to go trick-or-treating after that, and I guess I agreed with them, but I always miss the joy of trying to get candy from strangers.
You just missed the joy of free candy.
Well, no, it's the hunt for the candy. I can get candy any day
the
I
hunt
want.
for the candy.
Yeah, I can get candy any day I want. I mean, I can go to a CVS, I can go to a Walgreens or whatever and get plenty of candy. So that's not an issue for me, but it's the finding it. I'm like a hunter looking for a chocolate gazelle.
When you when you went out trick or treating at 18,
Yes.
were you by yourself or did you go with anyone?
No, I was by myself.
So imagine, in what town did you just stay in Grand Ridge?
Yeah, just in Grand Ridge.
Which is
No,
not
they
how,
probably gave you candy because they were worried you were going to kill them.
Yeah, I go trick or treating in like a Friday the 13th mask, and I look like Jason Voorhees.
well they
So yeah,
but they were also worried because by the time you walked up the 2 or 3 steps to the door and rang on it, you were like trick or treat, trick or treat. You're wheezing and out of breath.
no. I'm moderately healthy, but
Mm.
no, they were probably afraid that I wasn't gonna egg their house. They were probably afraid I was gonna tip their car over if they refused my candy.
Now, I used to give out I used to go to my parents' house and give out candy and help do all that because I love the holiday and I love all
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. But I can't remember a whole lot of times where there was like a single trick or treater, like completely single. Sometimes it'd be a child with his parents and it's just them, and they'd have the kid come up to the door. But you saw the parents standing back a little ways and waving and whatnot. But I can't recall a whole lot of times where a tall child of 18 by himself came to the door. I'm sure it would have busted their balls a little bit.
I was probably unique in that regard. But once I was old enough to go trick-or-treating without my parents, I would always just try to ditch my brother because he would slow me down from the candy.
Well, I mean, how many people are in Grand Ridge?
Very, very few. I'd say it was maybe like a 200-house town. And I was
the
able
po-
to
the
do
pop-
the entirety of it
The
in
population
the night.
is like 500 or 600.
Yeah.
Okay. And how, on average, how many houses did you think did trick or treating in your
Probably about,
in your heyday?
it was most of the town. It was probably 150 of them. 200 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was able to hit every single one.
Now, does
As I
Grand
got
Ridge
older.
have an area of town that is more well off? You know, every town's got its area. Like, oh, this is where the rich people live. This is where the doctors and the lawyers live, and then you tend to go to those houses.
Yeah, they just recently they just started building new houses. And if you're building a house, you got to have money. So there's some rich people in there, I bet.
Well, I mean, we're talking like people who have like cracked 6 figures, not like they're pulling in $1 million
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, we're talking relatively for the town. You know, like Princeton has certain neighborhoods that's where it seems like all the bank president lives and all the attorneys live.
Oh yeah, and he better give out full-size bars.
Well, and that's what everybody would always say is whether or not it ended up being true or not. But that was the idea. We hit those houses because they'll have the best candy because they're the wealthy of the town. And I don't know if it actually ended up working out that way, but
Yeah, there were probably like 5 or 6 houses in Grand Ridge that would give out full-size candy bars, and then there was an elderly couple who would hand make popcorn balls for us. Those were good.
And so you like that popcorn. I was just going to ask you what your favorite thing, like Joe Buckley during your heyday of the peak of your trick-or-treating experience as a child. And you got it. Okay, it's Halloween night. You just get back from trick-or-treating. You dump your bag of goodies all over the floor. What are the
I make
candies
my
that
mother
you're
clean it
keeping?
up.
And what are the candies that you're throwing out?
Well, I never throw out any candy. What happens is there's a dad tax, of course. You have to figure in the dad tax. So you siphon off like some of the shitty candy and you just give it to him, and that way you keep him away from your Reese's Pieces and your Hershey bars and such.
Well, then
Was there ever,
what was the shitty candy?
Let me think. I'm not a big fan of any of the old people candy is gross for the most part.
What's
so,
the old people
Yeah, well-
candy?
Let me explain. So like the
Let me explain. Don't interrupt me.
Oh my
Don't
God!
you dare interrupt me.
So,
Professional
like,
broadcaster, Pickle Boy.
I'm Pickle Boy. Hey, Halloween candy. Ring in for the bar.
It's like you just got to hit a button and it just pokes him in his anus and he goes.
He is a human toy.
Yeah, so those honey bars, like I don't know what they're called, but
Bit of honey
bars.
Yes, yeah,
Bit
those
of honey?
type of things. Like anything honey tasting, I did not like.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Anything with coconut in it. So like the almond joys, I hated.
I
I
love
fucking
me some
love
almond joy.
Mounds bars.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a
Nope,
big
get rid
almond
of
joy
them.
fan myself, and I like the toasted coconut. God, what are those? Zag nuts, which are hard to find in the Illinois Valley, but they're at like every gas station here. And that's like
Yeah, I've never
toasted
heard of 'em.
coconut. It's kind of like Butterfinger, but if you take the chocolate off and then coat it with like toasted coconut, that's kind of what a Zag nut is. It's the best way I can describe it. It's
Okay.
good.
There was like a house or two that gave out raisins. Disgusting.
Yeah.
No, need to be get rid of.
Yeah. Did you ever get anybody give you coins, like a couple of pennies?
I believe so. I believe that may have happened once or twice. Yeah.
Yeah, we had that. There was a lady on my street actually, and she would give you like 2 or 3 pennies.
Yeah. Thanks,
every
thanks,
year.
lady.
And it was tradition to go there and get your pennies, but
Well, back whenever she was a child, that was like $18. So she thought she was being generous.
well, I always
But-
wondered. I'm like, is she actually losing money? Let's say she's giving 2 or 3 pennies to every single kid that comes
And
there.
if 10,000 children go up there, that adds up to like $100. She can afford it.
And a bag of candy is what? If you get the cheap mix and you're just giving 2 or 3 pieces a kid, I don't know. I have no idea what if she was money ahead or not by giving out pennies.
Yeah. No, I think she'll be fine with the pennies. Yeah, I think she comes out ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if you give out like a Smartie, how much does one pack roll of Smarties cost? Like 2 cents, 4
I don't know.
cents? Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's what I mean. You'd have to buy the bag of candy and dump out the candy and
Yeah.
divide it up.
Weigh it. You weigh it on like a scale. That's what I'm going to do for my Halloween. I'm going to be weighing my candy and see which makes more economic sense to eat.
Except you're going to weigh it after you eat it. So you're going to get on the scale and then you're going to scarf all your candy down. And then Bubby's going to get on the scale again. And that's how you figure out how much your candy weighed.
I don't really believe in scales. I don't follow that. I'm
Then
not
how
a
come you
scale
got them
person.
all over your back and arm and anus?
I am not a Komodo dragon, sir. My skin is smooth. It's baby smooth, and I shave every inch of it to make sure it stays baby smooth.
All right. So what other so you don't like coconut. You don't like any
that's
honey
gross.
flavored candy. Anything else that you'd get that you didn't like?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of nuts as a child. I did not like nuts in my mouth. Now I'm okay with it. Now I'll eat the peanuts and the almonds, but
Mhm.
so I pawned off like
That's
the
almost every
Snickers.
candy bar, though. If you don't like
I know.
peanuts,
Yeah.
I mean, that's most major candy bars have some sort of nut in them, don't they? Snickers and
Definitely, yeah. It was horrible as a child, yeah. I was a big fan of the Three Musketeers. That was one of my favorite bars to get.
yeah, it's one of my least favorites actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of the Milky Way, but like the Midnight Dark version. So it's like a dark chocolate version of the Milky Way. It's real good.
Okay.
Yeah. And my grandma gave out those because I specifically asked for them. I was like, Grandma, can you get me the special dark Milky Ways? So other children got stuck with them as well.
So did you ever have any instance of anybody bullying you when you were out trick-or-treating, either because they didn't like your costume or they didn't like the shape of you or they didn't like the way you walked,
No. I mean, no, luckily I was mostly just ignored as a child by my peers, so.
They didn't call you Chicken Boy and egg you?
No! I never got Chicken Boy.
You never got punched in the stomach until you shit your pants and then they stole your candy?
No. Now in Grand Ridge there was a thing to discourage older trick-or-treaters. They set up a thing in the hall so for like the high schooler kids to go to. And it was kind of like a dance with like prizes and stuff, and you could bob for apples and shit.
Wait. Why do you say that was specifically to dissuade you from trick-or-treating?
Well, because I mean that's what it was set up for, kind of.
Are you
That's
sure
just
this
how I
wasn't
got
an
it, at
outlet
least.
just an outlet for the older kids to have fun? Do you think wasn't really specifically made to stop them from trick-or-treating?
No, Ryan. Of course, this is what happened. They decide, you know what? Let's throw a dance for all the teenagers who are getting a bit older, but because they want to do their own thing, they want to hang out with each other. And Joe's immediately like, they're trying to take me away from my trick or treating. I'm not going to fall for this trap and go to some dance and have a good time with a young lady.
Well, that's what happened. I went to one of them for about a half hour, and then I left to go get more candy in.
So you sandwiched the dance in between your trick or treating.
Yes.
All right. Have you
'Cause
ever been on the other end of it? Have you ever given out candy at your house?
I have. Yeah, I have. After I was too old to go anymore, I gave out some.
Well, then I have this question for you.
Okay.
As a person giving out candy, if the person comes to your door and let's say they're at least above the age of 6, because under 6,
Yeah.
I'll give it a pass. But if they're 6 years old or older, they come to the door, they don't say trick or treat. What do you do? Because that's kind of the deal. You say trick or treat, I give you candy. Without the trick or treat,
Yeah. I think I politely yet firmly closed the door in their face.
Because there was one year I was like adamant about that. If you did not say trick or treat, I'd stand there until you either asked me what's going on, or I was like, that's the deal. That is all you got to say is trick or treat. I'll give you the candy. If you just come up there with your bag open, like gimme, no, you weren't gonna get the tiny Twizzlers.
Yeah. So Ryan, what would your reaction be if you saw a 18-year-old Joe Buckley come up to your door and you didn't know me?
Well, and I don't know you.
Yeah.
Are you in you're costumed? You're wearing a mask or something?
I'm wearing a scream mask. Yes.
I probably wouldn't think much of it, other than because I don't really care. I mean, if you're out having fun and you're abiding by the tradition, you're dressed up and you say trick or treat. I'm not. What the hell? I mean, we're talking a 10-cent piece of candy. I probably won't say anything. As long as you said trick or treat, I would be like, all right, happy Halloween.
Yeah. Now, what if I add a little stank to it? I say trick or treat, give me something good to eat, smell my feet.
I'd probably laugh and say, all right, weirdo, and here's your candy.
Okay.
It depends if it's a busy night, where my parents lived, it's a cul-de-sac. So it's like nonstop from the second trick-or-treating would start till it would end. It would just be a barrage of kids.
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be a lot of time. I'd be like, moving them in, moving them out.
Yeah. No, it's like you're a manager of the Wendy's. You gotta get those burgers in and out. Yeah. Now, what were some of your favorite Halloween goodies?
I liked Almond Joy. I liked little Hershey bars. I like hard candy. So I like Suckers and Blow Pops and Tootsie Roll Pops and stuff like that. Those are my favorites.
Blow Pop was pretty good.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
Yeah.
I didn't care for homemade things because I didn't trust it. Because, I came of age in the late 80s, early 90s when people were still talking about, putting razor blades and shit, whether that ever happened or not.
Yeah, I don't believe there's ever been a confirmed case of that where it wasn't that child's parent or the child itself.
Yeah. So, I mean, had that instilled in me that the homemade stuff, depending on who you got it from, if it was somebody that you knew or your parents knew, it'd probably be okay. If it was just somebody living on the corner of Euclid and Buckland,
somebody in a trench coat and he's looking for his keys really frantically while handing out the popcorn balls.
So, I didn't want raisins. Some people would give out those, I don't know if McDonald's still does it. I know they did it when I was a kid. You could get
those little booklets.
Yeah, you could go to McDonald's and for maybe $1, you could buy a booklet of like coupons. And each one was like for a free fry or a drink or something. And some people would just buy those and hand those out. And I didn't care for those because that meant I would have to get my parents to drive me there. And I mean, just give me a piece of candy, man.
You don't want $4 worth of fries and burgers and drinks. You want the Hershey bar.
Well, like I said, because I wasn't able to travel under my own power. As a kid, I'm not going to be able to drive. McDonald's was out by the interstate. I wasn't going to be able to get out there and utilize
on like your little bike.
I could go all the way out there and utilize those tickets. So, the instant gratification of Halloween, I want it now. And so I never cared for those kind of coupons.
Well, and plus, if you think about it, if your parents are taking you to McDonald's, they're gonna get you something whether you have the coupon or not. So
exactly.
It's not your money you're spending on like a kid's meal.
No, and but I'll be honest with you, the trick or treating was never my favorite thing of Halloween. Okay. I have so many instances growing up where it was terrible weather.
Yeah.
And I hated it. I don't like being cold. And so many of my memories of Halloween are it's outside, it's cold, it's rainy.
It's just raining, it's spitting rain out.
Yeah, your costume is completely covered up with a stocking hat and a winter coat. So it's not fun. It's too cold to walk. So your parents are driving you to a street and you're getting it. I got a lot of anxiety from it. And to be honest, growing up, I was never a big candy kid. I liked salty. I liked chips. I liked fries.
You got any Lay's or Doritos in that house?
Yeah, I would be more excited about a little bag of chips than I would most candy. And so the trick or treating aspect.
Cold cuts.
Salami.
Fuck, dude, if they gave out Lunchables, I'd have been in heaven for about 3 years. That's all I ate.
Yeah. I smell some salami back there. Can I have a piece?
Or some pizza? Just toss a slice in there, guys.
Actually, that's a pretty decent idea.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be. In a post-COVID time, I'll be handing out like an eighth of a slice of pizza to every kid.
Talking about small town, almost mysticisms. I was at Grand Ridge's like Ridge Days or something.
Yeah.
I think it's like their summer, like late summer festival. And Joe, holy shit, you were gonna knock all these monitors off.
Will I?
Fucking shaking the hell out of this table.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll move my feet.
What are you doing?
He's had a bunch of candy before he came over here. His body's just...
Well, he got his big old bag of candy from the Hunt for Bad October. Ryan, he literally walked down the steps. He's like, ooh, there's the candy.
That's the only reason he came over. That's the only reason last night he was all like, oh, we're recording tomorrow, right?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I was at the Ridge Days Festival like a couple years ago picking up Joe for something. This was before he had a car. And I'm driving through, and of course, they've got like their little stretch of downtown, which is like a block and a half. And there's a dude on the side of the road, literally with a card table, like a cardboard sign, a pizza pizzazz, and like a cooler full of frozen Jack's pizza.
Yeah, Jack pizza.
And he's just he's putting them on the pizzazz and selling them like $3 a fucking slice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a brilliant idea.
That guy was able to make $24 at Jack's Pizza.
Well, yeah, you can get a Jack's. You can get what 4 for $10 sometimes. They're like $3, $2.50 a piece.
Yeah, my mom loads up on them whenever there's a sale.
I love a good Jack's Pizza at 2 in the morning.
Well, why don't you come on back up for Ridge Days? Get yourself some Jack's Pizza off the side of the road.
Yeah. I can't wait. I want a Ridge Days T-shirt. I want the entire Grand Ridge experience.
Yeah, you could get cup holsters for your beer cups. You could there's T-shirts. It was the 100th anniversary of Grand Ridge a couple years ago.
Oh wow, big news.
Yeah, it was the biggest thing that ever happened.
So does Grand Ridge did this like grade school? How many kids were in your class?
There was probably about 20, and it was 2 classes for each grade, so about 40 kids a grade.
So did you guys have much of like a Halloween like when the Halloween fell on a school day? Did you guys do anything?
Yeah. I mean, we got like little treat bags from the teachers normally if they were kind. If they were mean, maybe we would just get Halloween spankings. I don't know.
Did you dress up though? Is what I mean. Did they have any sort of like your parade? Because that's what we did growing up.
No, I think my school experience was too far after Columbine. I don't think they allowed masks in the school.
Huh. Yeah, because I mean, I remember one year in particular we had like a parade. Like when school fell on Halloween, it was you didn't do much. I mean, like the whole day, you might read a scary story or they watch a spooky cartoon or something like that. But it was like pretty much the day was dedicated to Halloween, and you wore your costumes. I remember we did a parade around the playground, and everybody they took pictures, and the newspaper would come there sometimes to take pictures.
Yeah. If it was a slow news day.
Well, even if it wasn't, I mean, it's you got to have your lifestyle page. That's what keeps the subscribers. They like seeing stuff like that amongst the harder news. They like seeing their little neighborhood things and
local news. Dog gets stuck in tree, but he doesn't die in there.
Local news. Local 5th grader Ryan Ziegler wears Freddy Krueger mask.
Yeah. But he brings real knives into the school. I
don't know if this was one of the Man with No Brain or what, because I Chris told this story. But it was 5th or 6th grade. I went to school Halloween as Freddy Krueger, and that was when I think Nightmare on Elm Street had kind of petered out a little bit at that point, but it was still enough in the pop culture mind that you could go to Walmart or Hornsby's or any these small town department stores at the time and still get Freddy Krueger stuff.
They just have like a shitty plastic burnt face looking mask for $5.
No, this was really cool.
Oh, is it a good one?
It was actual latex. It was a kit, and I remember you bought it and you had to kind of cut it out to fit your own face. There was a lot of it, and it showed you what to do and how to draw it. It had the correct makeup, but and it had spirit gum, and I remember I had to glue it to my face, so I had this shit glued to my face for like 8 hours the entire school day, and we went to like Spencer's or something and got a Freddy Krueger like pants and shirt that it was licensed, to look like the movie, had the logo and stuff. Yeah. And then I had a glove, and I still have the glove somewhere, and it was a plastic glove, but it looked like Freddy's. And I remember I put just some like pink makeup, whatever I had, grease paint,
lipstick. You put on your mom's lipstick.
I mean, who knows?
It could have been Freddy Krueger.
It could have been. No, I mean, I put it on the blades. All right.
Oh, okay.
And then I remember specifically slashing at my friend who was dressed as a nurse because his mom was a nurse. So he was kind of dressed like a nurse, but he had like, he had like fake boobs and everything, 5th grade.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. You gotta make him the final girl of your Halloween night.
During the parade, I swiped at him jokingly, and I didn't mean to hit him, but I did. And I made a perfect 4 scratch of of red right down his white, uniform. And he might have even started crying for all I know. I mean, he was upset by it, but I was like, holy shit, that was awesome. Because it was perfect. And it was because I had the grease paint thing on the fingertips. But I think one of the teachers, I think I got in trouble for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Those uppity teachers, the bane of my existence as a teacher.
Well, what was your favorite costume?
I had a scream mask that pumped blood through it whenever you hit like like a pump.
My cousin Daniel had the same one.
Yeah, and then I had a blade that if you held the knife upright, all the blood would go into the handle. But then if you tipped it upside down, the blood would go into the blade. And
so that was your favorite of all the years of dressing up?
Yeah, I think I wore that about 5 to 6 years in a row.
Which is funny because, I mean, the last Scream 4 came out, 2011?
Yeah, something like that.
And that would have been around the time you were in high school?
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, Scream's always been big in the costuming circuit.
But I was just surprised that you were into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I hadn't seen the movie yet. That was not allowed. But
oh yeah.
I gotta have a scary costume. I'm not dressing up like Barney.
Well, what other costumes did you have when you were younger? Pre-Scream mask.
Yeah, I got a story. Whenever I was like 5, maybe, I was in an Elmo costume, and I was really excited. I was really excited to go over to my grandma's, but like my brother and sister and parents were taking way too long. So instead I just walked like 7 or 8 blocks as like a 5-year-old over to my grandma's, and then they thought that somebody had kidnapped me or I was just lost or something, so they were frantically searching for me. And then my grandma had to call them, and they were like, well, Joseph arrived here.
And did you get in trouble for all that, causing all that trouble?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, yeah, that was the story of my existence as a child. In Trouble Buckley, they may as well have called me.
All right, so you were Elmo one year.
Yeah.
You were the Scream mask.
But I was a badass Elmo because I disobeyed his parents. Elmo doesn't do that.
What other costumes did you have?
I know Voorhees. One time I think I couldn't actually get the mask, the hockey mask. I was just hockey mask man with knife.
Wait a minute, you couldn't get like an actual replica?
Yeah, a Friday the 13th mask. It was just a hockey mask.
Wow.
Instead of like the nice.
Everyone knows. I mean, only fans of shit like that, only like us fans of Friday the 13th can tell you, oh, that's not. I mean, we can tell you which mask.
Licensed.
Yeah, we can tell you which masks because all the movies have different masks too. We can tell you the mask.
That one has a chip in the upper right corner. That's part 6.
Well, yeah, that has to be after part 4 because he gets that in part 4. And then there's the mask. Us fans know that, but your average person, they're just going to see you in the hockey mask and they're going to be like, oh, it's Jason.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I want to have a part 5 fake Jason mask. That was always my dream.
Yeah, you get the whole back of the head thing and the fake ears, and because that was a whole headpiece. It wasn't just a mask. The guy had the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roy, the silicone or whatever.
Roy, the ambulance driver, is the killer in part 5.
Oh, how I loved Roy.
All right. Well, were there any growing up other than trick or treating? Like I'm talking about the Halloween season. Did you have any other traditions? Or now even? Yeah,
before the IMDb forums got shut down, I participated in their 31 Days of Fear challenge.
Okay. What was that?
So,
I don't think I ever saw that.
You basically just try to watch 31 horror films in the month of October. And some people would take it and do like, some of these people just had like no job, so they could do like 150 movies in October, 200, 250.
Yeah.
So it was like a challenge to see how many you could watch that month.
Do you know how many you watched on your best year?
I maybe like 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And were these movies that you just chose, or were there qualifications? Like, okay, you have to watch one vampire movie, you have to watch one movie made from the 60s. You have to, was there any rules
No,
to the game?
there was no rules.
Okay.
You could just pick whatever you want. I tried to do like a good mix of like classics and like first time views.
Okay. Well, like, what do you? Okay, so, but that's been shut down. So, what do you do? Anything like? Is there any movies or any events or anything you read or anything that you do only during the Halloween season? And it's maybe a personal thing, like a personal.
Yeah,
thing.
I'll still check out horror movies. Yeah, I'll watch some of those.
Because that's my big thing. Is usually in mid-September, right after my birthday, is when I kind of I've always kicked off Halloween for myself, and it's to me. There's so many movies that I try to watch and shows or books I'll try to read. During that time period. And there's so many. I never get to, even half of them. I try to okay, this year I think I'm going to try to watch some of the Exorcist, the two Exorcist prequels, and shit, I didn't get to any of them.
Yeah.
But normally for me, it's all the Universal stuff. Except for The Creature from the Black Lagoon, because I always considered that a summer series because those movies are all either set in a tropical,
it's in the water, yeah,
or they're set at like SeaWorld. So those, that to me is a summertime monster. But, Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy sequels, I usually try to hit all those. Of course, all the Halloween movies, the Michael Myers series, with the exception of the Rob Zombie ones, because I don't like those. But, and then like other stuff, like anthology movies, like the original Tales from the Crypt.
I'm a big fan of Creep Show.
I haven't watched Creep Show in a number of years, but I like the Monster Club, which is an anthology movie with Vincent Price and stuff. And,
okay.
There's just so many. And
From
then
a whisper to a scream.
Yeah, I bought that and watched it and resold it on eBay. I knew I would never watch it again.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. I saw it.
Yeah, that one's a disappointing movie. But but then the thing is, then I add so many every year. And then it's like at this point, if I have hundreds of movies that I never get all the way through. Even when I start in September, I'm like, well, I'll try to watch one movie a day or one every couple of days.
You just got to start in the middle of July.
Pretty much at this point, But this week I'm watching a lot more because it is Halloween, Halloween week. And then you're listening to this, it is Halloween. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, people. You got to make sure your buckets are filled to the brim with candy and your eyes are bloodshot with horror films.
And I know it's late and it's probably too late, but next year, maybe somebody listening will go to Halloween parties as Joe Buckley.
Oh, well, they could definitely. It would be easy to go as a benevolent Buckley because you can get that cloak on Amazon for cheap.
Maybe by next year, we'll figure out a way. Cassandra will do a live cast of your head and your face. Okay. And I will be able to make a Joe Buckley mask that I can wear, and I will go to some sort of event. Hopefully, COVID will be a thing of the past, and there'll be events still in public, and I will go as Joe Buckley.
Yeah.
I'll get the.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll get the purple hoodie and the New Balance shoes, and absolutely. I'll be Joe Buckley.
Yeah.
Now, does Grand Ridge have any haunted stories or anything? Because the Illinois Valley has a few areas that they used to say were haunted and that we would go to every year. Does Grand Ridge have any?
I started one.
You started one?
Yeah, before I got excommunicated from Sunday school, I would take kids on like a tour of the upstairs without the adults knowing, and I would just say like, oh, this is really haunted. Like you can feel like a cold spot over here. And here is where they would used to kill like the baby, like the babies of like the unwed mothers.
Jesus Christ! How old were you when you were doing this?
Probably about 10 or so.
I think you're full of shit, Joe.
I was going to say, how many years did you do this before you?
Probably just one or so.
Okay,
so I got banned for throwing Cheerios at my brother. I was throwing cereal, and that was the final straw.
Well, I mean, if you do it one time, it's not really a tradition. You got to get a couple more under your belt before you can start.
Remember the Pet Peeves episode, Ryan? He doesn't get it.
That's right.
Okay. Well, here.
Hold on a second. I'm actually pulling up some actual haunted stuff, supposedly on IllinoisHauntedHouses.com.
Oh yeah, and there was one, and it wasn't haunted, but there was one. I don't know if Tyler, I know Joe probably hasn't heard this. I don't know if you have, Tyler, but there's a road on the way to Depew, town just outside of Princeton. And did you ever hear about the help sign on that road?
I've not heard about the sign story, but I've heard of a haunted road over there.
Well, the idea was, and this is going back 20, 25 years. I'm pretty sure it's been paved over. But the story had something to do with either somebody was on a motorcycle or they were in a car accident, but somebody was hurt on the side of the road and they wrote help on the road in their blood. Now, I don't know if they died or if they were saved or whatever. And then the idea was, like, I guess a couple of days later, somebody went out and painted over the blood with paint so it would stay there forever. And we used to drive out every Halloween or around Halloween to that road. And indeed, it did say help. It was painted across the road. Now, whether or not somebody did that because of the story, I don't know what the truth is behind any of it, but it was
probably
freaky.
a trucker who got a flat and he decided to do an SOS message on the road.
But when you either way, when it's Halloween and it's midnight and you're listening to the Halloween soundtrack or something and you're driving out there, because it's in the middle of nowhere and it would just pop up. Like, you'd be driving slow with your high beams on so you can see the road, and then boom, you just see this word help. And the idea of that, that was written by some guy initially because he was bleeding out. It always, every year we would do it and it would always freak us out. Now, I don't know the truth behind any of it, and it's gone now. I think it's been paved over, and I don't know if anyone's gone back out and
repainted it.
But I think that was the case. Like, they would pave over it every couple of years and somebody would go out there, but everybody would, you drive out to the help sign, around Halloween every year. At least that's what we did in high school.
Other haunted locations from the Valley. Spring Valley has the Massac Mausoleum in the Lithuanian Liberty Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
A couple comments on there. People saying it's a spook central. The Kaskaskia Hotel in downtown LaSalle is a big one as well.
Yeah.
And then also, when I looked up Grand Ridge Haunted Houses, it just pulled up Joe on the sex offender registry list.
I am not on the Sex Pest registry.
Sex Pest?
I am not on sexpest.gov.
Joe Buckley, the Sex Pest.
Sexpest.coven.
Yeah, no, that is not true.
There's a warlock in that house. He'll touch your pee-pee.
Yeah. No, I am not exposing my little Peter to children as they walk by for Halloween.
Sometimes when you walk by late at night on Halloween, when the full moon is risen, you can hear a faint moan in the distance. My pee-pee.
I've just got my door wide open and I'm fucking my ass with the doorknob as the children walk by. That's not happening.
Oh, I love it. I love the Sex Pest. Joe Buckley, the Sex Pest. Do you have a sex pest problem? Call.
No! I did not get into your gutters.
I'm going to call every exterminator in the Illinois Valley or anywhere near Grand Ridge and give them your address. Say, well, I have a sex pest here. What do you got to get rid of it? What sort of traps do I use?
It's basically mothers who have their sons in the basements and they're tired of going down there and they're catching them masturbating.
That is the mother's fault.
So Joe goes over there and basically just plays magic with them to distract them while mom does laundry. I took care of that sex pest for you.
Oh.
But then they see a hot lady on one of the cards and they whip it out and start jerking it right there in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by Liliana of the Veil. I'll tell you.
Oh my God! Now I gotta look this up.
Oh, I'm sure it's a drawing of big boobed woman.
Yeah, it's by Steve Argyle. It's one of the most famous cards in the game, and yeah, she's a hot lady.
Joe, do you honestly find arousal from shit like this?
No, not really. This artist
that took too long.
This artist made a playmat of Liliana and
Shut up! It was one question.
No,
do you
listen.
really get off to this?
No.
I don't need the history of this fucking card, dude.
Listen to me.
This does not help the case.
No, it does. It does help the case. So I'm not attracted to this card, but this artist drew a playmat for charity of Liliana and Chandra making out in a sexual manner, and that's a bit arousing.
What do you? What is making out in a non-sexual manner? You sex pest?
No. Maybe just like no tongue. I wouldn't get hard by no tongue.
Oh, Joe.
What? What's wrong
Dude,
with that?
that's gross that you keep that stuff logged in the back of your mind. I literally couldn't tell you if I'm not going to say that it's never happened that I haven't seen maybe an animated image and be like, well, hello. But I couldn't remember any of them.
Oh yeah, I mean the old the X-Men comics. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Any number.
I want to fuck Magneto.
Of the way they're drawn, of course, but at the same time, it's a drawing. It doesn't do it for me. It's a drawing. And in the internet age, you can see plenty of real nudity. The drawing, yeah. I get it if you're in prison and that's all you got, and your cellmate can draw a really nice pair of boobs. I get it, but No.
A cartoon can be better than the real pictures because you could perfectly tailor it to what your fetish or whatever is.
You can also do that with. You don't think that there aren't hundreds of thousands of every position, every type of nastiness on the internet? It's just you're too lazy. So you pay some dude $10 on Fiverr. Yeah, draw me this girl that lives down the street. Make her do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
And then they send you back a stick figure because they're too fucking lazy to earn that $10. And you're like, good enough.
All jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to fuck Spock.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done pornography in real life. So what else am I going to do? What else could I do?
I don't know. Get better taste.
No, Spock is a legend.
God, you ruin everything. Now I can't watch fucking Star Trek.
Yeah, well.
Oh no, don't worry. No, most of the stuff that Joe says, just I forget it even happened right afterwards.
Okay.
So I mean, it may ruin it if I was watching Star Trek 5 right now, but no, it's what Joe says. Usually, I forget. I have to go back and listen to these episodes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Joe Buckley exists. Yeah, usually I forget he even exists until we restart recording.
Okay.
So when was the last time you got aroused doing something with us? Oh Jesus,
really
that should be a hard no right away.
I'm not really attracted to any of you, so I would say
well, you
never.
make enough sexual jokes about you. You make more jokes about pleasing us than you do anybody.
Yeah.
You don't talk about celebrity. You don't drop celebrity names. You don't even talk about this. This Gorgon of the Veil you were talking about, this drawing.
Oh, Liliana. She's not a Gorgon. She's a necromancer.
Whatever.
She's a sexy necromancer.
Whatever non-existent thing she is. You talk more. You reference pleasuring me orally more times per episode, whether it's recorded or not, than you do even talking about these Minnie Mouse drawings that you like. And I'm just saying, Joe, that's fine. But don't lie to me and say you're not attracted to us. When there's at least one of us that you would not have to be pushed too hard to enter.
Yeah, I want to fuck Donald Duck so bad because he doesn't wear pants, and it would be easy to just stick it in.
Jesus, you see that whole time, Ryan, he didn't listen to a fucking word you said.
I did listen.
You said Mickey Mouse. He said, oh, okay, I don't know what's the character. Oh, Donald Duck. Oh, what's the most common thing that people joke about Donald Duck? He doesn't wear pants.
Yep.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
Happy Halloween, everyone. Donald Duck doesn't wear pants. I'd fuck him in the ass. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. He's got a He's got a cork-shaped penis. Ducks have a cork-shaped penis.
Oh God. So
yeah. Well, I was gonna say a big thing around Halloween was the family videos around here. I mean, it's not really.
What a segue!
I am the Segway master. I ride the Segway, and I'm able to give segues to the
heavy.
podcast.
You're too heavy.
You don't have the coordination.
Go on the Segway.
You don't have the coordination of a Segway. I'm sure that's not super easy the first time you try one of those things.
You don't even have a center of gravity. It shifts every day.
Well, according to the sun, because my body mass is so big that I move around the sun. Is that what you're saying?
No, I just think that you don't even have a rib cage. You just got floating organs just bobbling around in there.
His body fat's like a floating target. It decides daily where it's going to set.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's in the front, sometimes in the tits, sometimes in the butt.
Did you ever hear that Marilyn Manson removed his floating ribs so he could give himself a blowjob? I got the whole cage taken out.
Yeah. So you're saying I'm essentially like a beached whale, and everybody in Grand Ridge comes up with buckets of shrimp and water. And
my mom comes over and rolls me over 180 so I can blow into my asshole like a trumpet.
He went to a plastic surgeon to see if they could remove his entire spine so he could just reach back and eat his own ass like the dude from Fantastic Four.
Myself. I would love to felch myself.
Joe would eat his own butt before he'd blow himself.
Yeah.
Because his ass is cleaner than his cock.
No, that's because it's gay to have a penis in your mouth. I don't
He's got
do
a sex
that.
pest on his penis.
Well, it's because he's got a pink sock that's has more girth than his wiener.
Yeah. I'm just able to bend the pink sock around and it's longer than my cock, as you're saying.
God damn it! What happened?
What a
What
wonderful
happened?
podcast for the
This
people.
Happy Halloween, trick or
was
treat,
wholesome.
everybody.
This was wholesome. It was about Halloween.
It was
And
the
now-
sex pest thing, man.
And now everybody's picturing Joe eating his own pink sock.
Yeah. Okay, well, over in the family video, there would be these large sections of horror movies, and I would just creep around the corner and just kind of look at the covers, but then my mom would have to shoo me away because I wasn't allowed to watch them.
Oh yeah.
What a fun story. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and then this one time as a kid, I jerked off to Jack Frost, the spookies,
The horror
snowman.
film version, yes.
Yeah, the
God,
snowman.
it's hard to his mind to just get back to normal words.
I forgot the snowman word.
He was trying to find a way to say pink sock, and he couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, right now his brain is only focusing on synonyms for genitals, and that's he's like.
Okay, guys, I got a tough one. Who would you rather fuck, Barbarella or Elvira?
Okay, so Ryan, what's your favorite thing about Halloween as an adult?
It's funny because it's not that much different from when I was a teenager, because I stopped trick-or-treating probably around 13 or so, because like I said, I didn't care so much about the candy, and so my traditions then were similar to now. For me, it's a lot of just enjoying horror movies and the atmosphere. And I try to go to some sort of Halloween event every year. Last year, we went to the a bunch of haunted houses in Nashville. So we went to that last year. This year, actually on Halloween, we're going to Louisville. And I'm not sure what the event is. It's a drive-through thing because of COVID. Okay. But I think it's something they have every year anyway, though, a drive-through event. So I don't think it's specifically because of COVID, but that's why we're going. But it's some big thing. It's like pumpkins and decorations, and it's a big drive-through event that you have to buy tickets for. And so I like doing those sort of events. But again, it's more the vibe. I like this time of year. I like the horror movies. I like that everybody, whether you're an advertiser or you're a school, everybody's a horror fan this time of year. The rest of the time of the year, people are whatever. But during this time of the year, everybody's about Dracula and Frankenstein's monster and zombies. I mean, if you go on YouTube and you search like 80s, 90s Halloween commercials, it's like every product was, at Halloween time, you used a monster.
Yeah, the spooky
Even Goodyear
dog
tires,
shampoo.
It has werewolves. It's like everybody for a short while in America is all about monsters. And that's probably, for me, it's just the fun of that. I just like the vibe of the season more than anything.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite Halloween things doesn't even take place in October. It takes place on November 1st. Because I get to go into the stores and buy all of the candy with ghosts and stuff on them that they can no longer sell for full price. I get half off candy. Yeah,
the same thing you do on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and Christmas.
Do you actually go do that, though, Joe?
Yeah,
Are you going to go on Sunday, tomorrow, if you're listening to this, are you going to go to the store and buy cheap candy?
Yes, yeah, I will.
Joe, do you really not have any
honor?
No, not honor, but like self-control, that like you don't need to buy all that candy because then you have to eat the candy.
Yes.
So why don't you just buy a candy bar every now and again when you want a candy bar?
Well, but it's not half off.
But it doesn't matter. The price doesn't matter. I'm saying this is a lifestyle difference.
Yeah.
You will always buy cheap candy if there is cheap candy and eat cheap candy, almost as if like it doesn't matter if you want candy. If it's cheap, you'll buy it and you'll eat it. So that's why I say self-control. Do you not have any self-control to just like let it go? Like to just when you want the candy bar, you buy a candy bar?
No. I mean, this is something I like to do. It's kind of like it's a fun hunt to go find the deals.
No, this is not a fun hunt, dude. You just want cheap candy because you want to eat until you're sick. Like, that's something kids get over, when they're, like, 15. And they have all those Mountain Dews at their buddy's house, playing video games all night. Like the idea of me eating, like, I had 2 of those little packs of the Sour Patch Kids. There's probably, like, 8 in each one. And even then I was like, you know what? I really like that. But I know if I eat more of these, I'm not going to enjoy them. I'll just feel sick.
No.
So
Well, I normally I've got a good stomach and metabolism. I think still.
no,
I don't really
no,
get
oh my
sick too
God, what
often.
the
No,
fuck? You don't have
I-
a good metabolism, Joe. You're almost 300 pounds.
Yeah, no, I am 270, and if I didn't have a good
That's
metabolism,
closer to
I would.
300 than fucking 200.
If I did not have a good metabolism, I would be 480.
Joe, you do not have a good. I will give you this. I can't remember what the range is, but there is something about like 25 to 30 where all of a sudden your metabolism drops off a cliff. But
Yeah.
that's not good, buddy. I'm just saying we don't have to go into the whole, your weight on its own. But I'm just saying for candy purposes, just maybe don't do it this year.
Oh,
And then when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I really would like a Snickers, and you're like, but I refuse to pay full price.
Yeah.
Then just buy like one of those like 10 packs off Amazon.
Yeah. Those are always those exist.
Yeah, it's cheap, and then you have like 10 of them, 10 full size Snickers instead of having like 8 bags of like 20 pounds of
Whoppers.
candy.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna do was I was gonna buy $31 worth of candy, and like show it to you guys, and it would be like a bit of like, hey,
No.
I got.
No.
Yeah.
No, no, buddy, you're trying to make this up now.
No,
Because
I
you-
was gonna do that.
No, you were
I
not
buy
going to
candy.
do
I
that.
buy candy anyway, but I was gonna buy the $31 and say like, looks like I got both, fellas.
Well, that's fine. But the
you
thing
would've
is,
spent
how
your
much
own
would
money
you?
on
Yeah,
that.
I would have.
Yeah, how much would you normally spend though?
For Halloween, not too much because the candy isn't as good quality. I spend a lot during Christmas and
hold on a second.
Valentine's Day.
I'm
What?
sorry. What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen, I'll
They
explain.
degrade the quality of the
Yes,
candy at
yes,
Halloween?
Yes, I'll explain it. Halloween candy is to be given out to children, so you have a lot of like Hershey's is like some of the primo stuff. But during Christmas and Valentine's Day, it's candy to be shared amongst adults. So you have a lot of like Dove, a lot of like Lindor truffles, like all the good candy, all the good chocolates. You have adult chocolates during
Hold on a
Christmas and
second.
Valentine's Day.
I'm trying to wrap my fucking head around this. You have gone so far in your sugar-fueled life to
My
to
sugar-fueled
quantify,
rampage.
qualify, give context to adult candy and child's candy.
Yeah.
And apparently a fun-sized Snickers bar doesn't hold anything to a like fucking $2 single piece of candy from Dove.
Well, it's a lot better quality chocolate they use.
Joe, but yeah, if you want good quality chocolate, you wouldn't even buy shit from America.
Yeah.
Because America's chocolate quality is like 30% of like, most other countries.
I understand that. I'm just saying it's much better. The Valentine's Day and Christmas Day chocolate is a lot better quality than the type of chocolate you get during Halloween and Easter.
I see. I don't even want to crack this casket,
I
Ryan.
don't-
But I'm beginning to wonder if this is the elitism thing again. It's just about
I'm
the
a pretentious
high quality,
chocolate man.
high quality candy. I don't like any of this dark chocolate. I would much rather have some caramel and peanuts and nougat, but I can't have that because that's the child's candy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you cracked me. I'm a chocolate
you're talking
elitist.
Joe, when you're talking about going and buying the half-price Halloween candy, what bags are you buying? Are you
I'm
buying
a
the
big fan.
generic or the
No. Oh God,
stuff
no.
that?
No.
So I'm telling you, the candy that you're buying in the bag that has Snickers and has Three Musketeers are identical to the Three Musketeers and the Snickers that are on the shelf year round. I don't understand this idea of
Yes.
What are you
No,
talking
I'm not
about?
questioning that. I'm not questioning that.
He's
I'm
saying that he won't buy as much candy now as he would the day after Valentine's Day.
Yes, because the Valentine's Day chocolate is
Oh.
higher quality because it's from higher quality companies.
But you're
higher
only
quality
buying- but
cocoa and shit.
But no, it's not that you're choosing to buy the higher end brand of candy
Yes.
after Valentine's and Christmas. There's still the other shit is always there. And that
Well,
stuff,
no,
the high,
I understand that. But they don't give out high quality chocolate to children. I'm saying that's not really a thing during Halloween. You can't get half off truffles.
so you're saying like
Go ahead, Ryan.
commercial candy bars in America are not high end? You don't consider that high end?
Well, I'm saying there's much higher end qualities of chocolate than your Snickers and Three Musketeers. I'm saying that the truffle, like the Lindor truffles, are better than that. Like Dove chocolate, I consider better than that. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And
But
people don't give Dove chocolate to children, so it's not on sale during
You're
Halloween.
telling me that
Because I don't think
okay.
I'd rather have Snickers than Dove chocolate.
Oh, that's fine.
If your argument was, Joe, that you just like plain chocolate, and so instead of having a Hershey's bar, you'd rather have those, I would have no question or qualms with it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's your taste, dude. Like, I like Take Five's bars, and I know a lot of people don't like Take Five bars,
Oh,
but I
those are
love
good.
Take Five bars. And so I would rather have a Take Five bar over a generic box of mixed assorted chocolates where I only like about a third of them.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me that you sit there and eat the ones with the cherries in them?
No, I give those to my mother.
Okay, so you buy a box of chocolates at a reduced rate, but end up paying basically the same price because you're only eating a third of the fucking box.
Yes, I can
I
see.
have just
I
fucking
can
eviscerated your
no,
fucking argument.
I can see that viewpoint. I can see that viewpoint, sir.
But also, Joe, just think about the lifestyle you're living. So this is you going to a party of peers that you don't quite know. Hey guys, you looking forward to celebrating the day after Valentine's Day? Don't you mean Valentine's Day? No, the day after Valentine's Day, where we can go buy all the chocolate for cheaper.
I understand that my lifestyle is silly, but it's my lifestyle and I lead it.
It's silly.
Yeah. I normally have nothing in common with the average person my age, but I'm fine with that.
I think you do have a lot more in common with the people your age than you think.
Okay. Well, just on the internet all day masturbating, no
Well,
job.
I'm just saying that there are. That's the quality, not the quantity, or that's not even right. It's not the quantity. It's just that you do a lot of the same things that other people do.
Yeah.
It's just you do too much. Like you eat too much candy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy a nice, a nice 5 to 6
nice
candy
bag
bars
of candy a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if Joe actually had sex, Ryan? All of a sudden, he is broke, coming up to me asking for a loan to pay for a prostitute because he's got to have more. And he's like, and the worst part, Ryan, is that they don't have half off on the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You would think they would have a special or a coupon, but no.
A coupon.
Yeah.
A coupon.
I got this a whore coupon.
What's the QR code for your promo?
Yeah. What's the QR code for your pussy? Yeah.
Well,
no, I mean, I'm not worried about that. I mean, I could have sex any day I want for $150. That's not hard.
Where would you find that?
I just go on like Facebook Marketplace looking for whore $150.
God. You know who
well,
hit you up
that's going to be
first?
one of your 2021 assignments for the man with no brain. It's going to be to solicit a
get
prostitute and see how it doesn't happen. All right. Well, Joe, was there any parting Halloween memories or Halloween bits that you have?
I did not prepare any bits, but I wanted to say, people, listen, make sure you check your candy. Make sure you lock your doors, okay? So no vampires can get in, all right? Make sure you check under your bed for boogeymen. Yeah, and make sure you turn on the old crypt keeper. And
And make sure to check your basement for any sex pests.
I don't believe I will be in your basement. Make sure you check your basement for spiders and leaks.
Did you ask Ryan if he had any other stories, Joe?
No, not yet.
He asked you. You said, nope, we're done here, and we're out.
He just went right into the outro. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh, okay. No, so yeah. Ryan, do you have any?
No, I'm fine. I enjoy Halloween. I hope everybody has a wonderful Halloween, however you celebrate it. And be safe. And don't forget the clocks. Depending on where you live in the country, the clocks go back tonight.
Well, I smashed all the clocks in my
tonight?
house. Whenever they're listening to this.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that. Oh, yeah, you're saying on Halloween.
On Halloween, yeah. So we're not recording this on Halloween, but if you're listening to this on Halloween, yeah, don't forget your clocks go back tonight. An extra hour of Halloween, so that's cool.
Oh, and if you're Joe Buckley, the clocks don't even matter. So
I don't think I've looked at a clock in 3 years.
Yeah,
that's true. It's the most honest thing you've said today.
Yeah, that's why I'm late so much. I just don't care for clocks.
And also make sure to head on over to our other channel, Malevolent Movies, and watch our wrap-up episode.
The awards ceremony.
Yes. If you've been
There's a big
following along.
upset. There's a big upset in the middle.
There is.
There was.
There is.
It involves a certain miscreant.
No.
A certain sex pest.
Yep. I am not the Hunt for Bad October sex pest.
I am so disappointed that we recorded the award show before this, because it would have been great using sex pest against Joe.
We'd have all dressed up as sex pests. If behind doors, in grates, in old pipes, sometimes behind the laundry machine, you never know where you might find a sex pest. Got to be careful.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Especially in Grand Ridge.
Not Grand Ridge especially. I think Ottawa has more sex pests than Grand Ridge.
No, there's only one sex pest in the whole world, and I'm talking to him.
It's by the population, buddy. So if 50% of Grand Ridge has sex pests and Ottawa only has 30%, well, we might have a problem here.
I don't really see it like that, but
there's
I'll
at least
accept your
one
opinion.
sex pest for every 500 people in Grand Ridge.
No, yeah, the guy who gives out Pez for Halloween. The Pez man. He's a sex pest.
Pez is expensive.
Dude, I would love
Nobody's giving
Pez.
out Pez.
Yeah.
Well, no. There was in Grand Ridge, there was a man who would invite you into his house, and you could pick out a Pez and then a packet of Pez.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
When was this?
Did he invite you in the house off season, Joe?
No, I never got off-season Pez.
It was like a whole high tension scenario. Joe was the man.
Oh, it's like the end of Zodiac when Gyllenhaal goes in the basement.
Yeah.
Joe was the Pez man.
Basements in Grand Ridge.
Oh, if anybody out there, by the way, has any technical talent and you could make a Joe Pez dispenser, we would love that.
Yeah. That'd definitely be cool.
You just pull his head back.
It has to be able to. It's got to be like a foot long,
and then the PP is where the Pez comes out,
and about like a 3-inch circumference, so you could fit nuggies in there.
Yeah.
So his head barfs out.
Let me tell you, I would love some Joe Pogs if anyone has some Pog making talent.
Let's just keep naming old stuff, Joe.
Yeah.
No, Pogs are awesome because you can flip them in Magic games.
Nope. Go ahead. What else do you want? What are some other 90s and 80s toy fads?
A Joe Yo-Yo.
Okay.
Joe Frisbee.
Okay.
Joe Lawn Darts.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about a Joe Slinky that goes down one step and then just breaks?
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Or does it move at all? The springs don't. It's all glued together.
Yeah. And it stains your hands and it stinks.
Is it because I'm so lazy or because I'm so obese?
I don't know.
Okay.
Pick your poison because I think either way.
Okay.
But thanks everybody for tuning in, and make sure you check out Malevolent Movies on YouTube as well, and like it and hit the bell and tell your friends and your family, and have a great Halloween.
Yeah, we got lots of good stuff coming for you in the future.
And watch out, if you're walking down the street tonight, trick-or-treating, listening to this podcast, and you take out your headphone and you hear, my beep-beep, be careful, there's a sex pest behind you.
That's not how you say it. You have to say, ooh, my pee-pee hurts, ooh.
All right,
I
think we're out.
That's the out.